Hello, welcome to Durham's Partnership for Children, Take Care Tuesday. Under normal circumstances, we would be hosting our Take Care Tuesday in person, but things have changed just a bit. Back in March 2020, DPfC decided to go viral due to COVID-19. However, our goal remains the same, that all children in Durham will enter kindergarten feeling excited, ready to learn, and supported by their schools, families, and communities. In an effort to continue to reach this goal and to connect with families across Durham, we decided to virtually bring you Take Care Tuesday. So we are happy you are here. Let's get started.
Now I'm not on mute. Okay, so today we have a phenomenal speaker for you all. But first, we did want to go through the agenda. We will introduce ourselves, go over some housekeeping, give you some background on what is Take Care Tuesday, introduction of our special guest. We'll get into the conversation with Ms. Danielle Johnson, a question and answer session, and then a quick poll at the end. But once again, thank you. Thank you for joining Take Care Tuesday. And DPfC mission, just to give you that, we are the convener and facilitator of Durham's early childhood system with the mission to ensure that every child in Durham enters school ready to succeed. We lead community strategies for children birth to age 5 and their families that promote healthy development, learning, and enhance access to high quality care. You're on mute, Deidre.
Let's try it again. My name is Deidre Morgan, and I am the Durham Early Head Start ERC and Grant Compliance Specialist. I'm responsible for enrolling children and ensuring that Durham Early Head Start program adheres to grant regulations.
And my name is Courtney Kelly. I'm the Family Engagement Specialist, and I'm responsible for planning, coordinating, and implementing family engagement activities at our participating pre-K sites. And I also oversee the TTK initiative.
So let's go over a little housekeeping. So just some housekeeping things we want to mention. This session is being recorded and streamed live on DPfC social media platforms. By registering, you consent it to be recorded. Please remain muted while the session is in progress. You can ask questions by typing them in the chat box. We will have a Q&A session at the end of the session, and a poll will populate at the end of this session.
So what is Take Care Tuesday? It is a wellness series. Deidre and I came together and we wanted to create a space for our early Head Start and pre-K families to come together and provide them with extra support. However, due to COVID, we have opened it up to the community to broaden our reach. So each month we do invite a special guest who can provide insight on a selected topic. And this month, of course, it wouldn't be right if we didn't celebrate Women's History Month. But thus far, we've partnered with MindPath Care Centers, Legal Aid of North Carolina, Durham County Health Department, DPS Equity Affairs, and a host of therapists to provide self-care tips for our families. So today, as you know, you will hear from DPfC Executive Director Danielle Smith as we celebrate Women's History Month. She's currently making history right here in Durham as the first Black woman to serve as the Executive Director at the partnership.
All right. So who is Danielle Johnson? Danielle Johnson is an advocate for a high quality, accessible, and inclusive early childhood education that honors the diversity of families' experiences and honors parents' vision of success for their children. Bringing more than 20 years of increasingly responsible program and system level early childhood leadership experience in New York City and now in North Carolina's Triangle and Triad regions. Danielle has taught and trained educators and administrators seeking to make a lasting impact on the families and communities they serve. Following successful tenure in roles as the NC Pre-K Manager and Director of Early Childhood Systems, in August of 2019, Danielle was named Executive Director of Durham's Partnership for Children. She is responsible for providing leadership and oversight for programs within the organization representing annual investments of over $11 million. Programs including Smart Start, Early Head Start, NC Pre-K, Transition to Kindergarten, and other collective impact community initiatives that help the partnership achieve its mission that every child enters school healthy and ready to learn. Danielle is an author, award-winning adjunct instructor at Durham Technical Community College, a mentor and a sought-after presenter and facilitator at the national and international conferences with special connections to the early childhood movement in Ghana, West Africa, and Rwanda, East Africa. She received a master's in education from the University of North Carolina at Wilmington, a master's in public health from Hunter College, City University of New York, as well as a bachelor's in science. Danielle is currently pursuing a doctorate in curriculum and instruction at the University of North Carolina at Wilmington. Her research focuses on culturally responsive teaching and program design with an emphasis on globalization within the early childhood sector. Danielle serves on various boards and advisory committees such as Teach Rwanda Board, Durham Technical Community College, Early Childhood and Associate Advisory Committee, NC Early Childhood Innovation Committee, and the Durham Pre-K Governance Committee.
I'll just say, Danielle, I want to be like you when I grow up.
Right.
You ladies are doing that and then some. I'm just amazed looking at you both that I hired personally, and I'm like, look at them. I feel like the mama eagle, like they're flying and soaring. I love it. It's beautiful.
Okay, so now it's time for some conversation. I'm gonna stop sharing so we can see one another. Okay, so we have some questions for Danielle. The first question we have for you: who is Danielle Johnson? If you can, give us 3 words to describe yourself.
Wow. 3. I would say faith, culture, and scholar, if I had to only pick 3.
Okay.
Should I expound on why I selected
if
those?
If you want to, feel free.
Yeah, I was gonna ask why.
Okay, so because you only gave me 3, like really, faith, because that's the crux of who I am. It is my faith that sustains me, keeps me, guides me, energizes me, all of that. So that's at the crux. Culture, because again, that's just embedded throughout my system. Culture, not just only in African and Black culture, but I'm just a lover of culture. Cultures, social, South American culture, you name it. I want to know and absorb and learn from so many different cultures. Like, if you guys notice, whenever we have folks coming, I'm like, so where are you really from? What's your background? Let's talk. Talk to me. What are some phrases I can say in your language? Because I feel with culture, that's how you connect. That's how you build relationships and how you build authentic relationships, So I'm big on culture and want to embrace that culture and honor the culture. So definitely culture. And then of course, my African culture, fashion, that has to be there. That's just a given. I mean, I often have said that I would revitalize wardrobe to just be all of Afrocentric fashion. So that culture as well. And then scholar, because that's who I am. I'm a loving, embracing geek. I'm a nerd and I admit it wholeheartedly. I embrace it. I honor it. So that's definitely the scholar in me. I've always been a scholar from, as my mom would say, ye-high, just inquisitive. And that's what scholars are. Scholars are inquisitive. We want to know the whys, why behind, why is there such, a gap in this, or why is it more prevalent in this community? So just the whys, we need to know the why. So definitely scholar. I've been pursuing this journey on my academic journey. I feel like I haven't stopped. It was funny, real quick, Courtney, when you introduced me as Smith, I said, oh, wow, Courtney went back to my maiden name. But my current ex-husband, Mr. Johnson, he would often tell our daughter, like, your mom is a life learner. Like I don't think she will ever stop going to school. And we've known each other since I was 16, 17, and I was in school. So I've always been that scholar. Just, I enjoy learning. I feel as long as I have life and breath, there's something for me to learn. But I will say this, after this doctorate, I think I'm done on that spectrum of the journey, because this is real. I said, no joke. So I think after this one, yeah, I think I'm done on the academic journey from that lens.
We'll see if that's the case.
I might go for a certification in something, but I don't think another doctorate.
Gotcha. Okay. Second question we have for you. What is your role as a woman right now? And do you think that role will ever change?
So as a woman right now, I wear many hats. I'm very, what you call multidimensional. You know, at the primary of it all, I'm a mother, I'm a mom, to what I call a socially conscious fashionista, AKA my ladybug. So after that, I'm a daughter. I love and embrace my mom dearly. I'm grateful that she is still here with me, pouring wisdom into me still, even at this age. Deirdre, don't you say anything. Who likes to say I'm the older end. But I am a sister, and if my brother is on, he claims I'm one of those aggressively annoying sisters. I'm the oldest and he's the baby, and I named him Daniel after me. So that tells you how our relationship is. So definitely a sister. I'm an aunt. I have wonderful nieces and nephews that I miss dearly. I have one niece that's here in North Carolina. And I'm a friend, and I see so many of my sister friends on here now. So I cherish those roles. I'm an educator, I'm a mentor, I'm many things. I am what they would say, I am woman, hear me roar. And do I think those roles will change? Not the primary ones, but I do see some changes. Right now, I'm an executive director, but I would like to be a global executive director one day, so I can bridge my two worlds, my passions of early childhood education. And so, yeah, I think they will change, but not significantly. Because at the core, at the primary of who I am, those are the foundational roles that I play.
I have a question for you, Danielle. So how do you decide when to step into a new role, or when it's time, when your season is up in one role, it's time to transition into a new one, or when it's just time to add to the load that you have?
That's where faith comes in. So that's when I'm in prayer. Usually, and I love the fact that they're both on here. And Pat is my spiritual mother. I call her mommy, sister, friend. So that tells you all that she encompasses for me. And then my other best friend that's on here, her name is Yolanda, but she's under Danielle Johnson as well. Those two, they know. I will call them and say, okay, we need to pray, because I'm thinking of adding this to my load. And they're both like, okay, so what is it about wanting to do this? So they kind of help keep me grounded, because I am a yes person, because I love to learn and try new things. So I'm always wanting to do the next and bring it on. But they help to bring balance, along with my mother, who's like, okay, wait, let's really look at this. And Kathy, you too, you've been encouraging with me in that area and arena as well, because I love to learn, I love to pour out and just be part of innovation and creativity. So my faith helps to keep me saying, okay, Lord, do I do this? Do I wait? And then sometimes I make a mistake, because I do take on too much and I have to figure it out, like, time to rebalance. But also, just to answer your question, Deirdre, because I've been doing this for so long, you just kind of instinctively, innately know when to transition. Like, I'm always a mother, so that doesn't change. She's always the primary, which is why she's been with me in classrooms, both when I'm learning, when I'm teaching. She's with me when I'm doing presentations. So that mother piece is always there, that teachable moment. So that's constant. But to know when to take on new things, I get sometimes what I call that itch, that creative itch. I reached out to Kathy to talk about some other things. And I said, I can't wait for my season to kind of transition, because I miss being in the classroom. I miss lecturing and sharing with new learners and pre-service and in-service educators. Just recently, we had that conversation. So the itch is starting to wake up again. But you see, here's why. I'm almost at the tail end of my doctorate. So I take my comp exams in May, which leaves me with now starting my dissertation, which can kind of free up some time to maybe teach a course, or now I won't say or two, to teach a course and to get reacclimated in that academic arena, which I so miss. I miss that a lot. So yeah, that's how I know. I get these sensations and opportunities. Also, the opportunities will present themselves.
Thank you for that. And next question I have for you, what is your philosophy on leadership?
So don't laugh, but I kind of call it a gumbo. My leadership style is like a really good gumbo. And the reason why is because it takes many ingredients to make an awesome gumbo. So I don't lean to one primary leadership philosophy. I have three that I know are just, again, at the core of who I am as a leader. And that would be definitely transformational. And transformational leadership involves inspiring and empowering your staff and those who follow you. And you ladies know I am big on that. I am big on you pursuing other opportunities. I am big on you expanding and stretching yourself to really live up to your full potential and to not sit on your giftings. So I'm really big on making sure that I'm transforming while we're getting the work done. I don't like to be around mediocrity. And I don't like for things to be stagnant. So with that, it's constantly helping others to see their giftings and helping to pull that out. If I may, Deidre, I would love to use our example, which is when I said, I really want you to transition to a different program, and here's why. And in the beginning, you were like, what? No way, you're just trying to do A, B, and C. I said, no, I'm telling you, with what I see in you and how you are taking this project on, you will be excellent in this role. And I must say, I was so moved by your text message that you sent me off record and was just like, I thank you, because for every committee you made me go to and join, and every project that you introduced to me to stretch me, it is so making sense into the work that I'm now doing and pursuing with your academic journey. So that's the transformational leadership that's in my core. That's who I am at the essence, because I want to see women. I want to see them climb. And however, if you can stand on my shoulders, because I stand on the shoulders of many, if I can help elevate you and push you to that next level, even when you don't see it in yourself, that's my job. That's what I'm here for. And then I would say my other leadership would be servant. Definitely a servant leader in that the two areas of making sure my team, that they have what they need, making sure they have the resources, making sure they have the time, making sure they understand. So that servanthood of coming in and saying, how can I serve you to ensure that you are able to do your deliverables and to do what it is that you need to do in a manner that doesn't burn you out, and you're still passionate and creative about the work. So definitely that servant leadership. And then I would say, kind of wrapped into all of that would be situational, because at every situation you have to change your approach. So I always tell my teams, again, we must be flexible and fluid. The sheer fact that we were able to close our offices on March 16th and then have full virtual programming by March 18th, that's awesome. You guys were amazing. You know, we crafted the vision, you guys executed, but that takes that situational leadership again, to be flexible and fluid, to know, okay, here's what we're facing. I know we have planned this down for 3 months down. However, a new, Rona is here. So we have to shift gears. And how do we do it in a manner where folks, again, aren't losing themselves? I'm really big, as you guys know, on being present. I want you to show up and not just be a physical shell that's doing a work robotically. I want your full essence of who you are to show up to this work, to give all of your passion, so that it can be some reciprocity and exchange. Because as you're pouring out into our families and the programs that we design and deliver, it's pouring back into you. So definitely situational. So those are my 3 ingredients for my gumbo.
I love it. All right, so the next question we have for you is, what is your vision for Durham's Partnership for Children and the community that the organization serves?
So for the partnership, again, I'm loving these questions, because we just had our virtual staff retreat, which I cannot wait to share the responses from that retreat, that 2-day retreat. because it was one activity we had to do in our breakout sections. And in this section, I think it said, where would you like to see the partnership? So everyone else was saying things like, just really cohesive. We're growing, we're expanding. So really making sure that everyone knows, the different roles and responsibilities. My response, of course, and it was so funny because my response was, I want to see the partnership have a campus. And on this campus, we would have an administration building, we would have teaching labs with agreements with Durham Tech, NCCU, UNC. Then we would have our global dorm room so that visitors from other countries can come, stay on site. And everyone is like, oh, we didn't think you meant like that kind of vision. And then me on the other end, I'm like, oh, you meant like right now. But again, that's the visionary in me. So I'm constantly seeing, like, what can we do 5 years from now? I do keep focus of the here and now, but my mind is always on the bigger, the next, and how do we bring that to scale for here in Durham? So I definitely want to see for the partnership, that expansion. I think we did a lot these past 2 years on just really branding, and for the community to understand and know who we are, what we do, what are our contributions to the early childhood system in Durham. That was really important because I think along the way, we kind of lost our connection to the community. So I was really intentional and diligent in ensuring that staff, not just myself, but I wanted the staff to be on different committees to share what our program is doing and how our program can support the overall vision for the Durham community. So definitely ensuring that we're in the community, we're front facing, that people know who we are, what we provide, and how we can partner. And then I think my vision for the community, I really want to see Durham become, I think of a circus. So if you think of the circus and that safety net when the trapeze artists, when they kind of fall down, I want our community to be a safety net. And not just one that catches people, but one that propels them back up. That's really what I want to see. I want to see us propel them up and pull them out. And we do this in my mind. The vision would be with them at the table. When I tell you I loathe having programs designed for people where the people are not part of that process. That is like a huge area of frustration for me. We have to have the people at the table. They're not our projects, our target population. They are the people. And we need the people at the table. It's nothing worse than coming and saying, oh, here, I made this for you. And everything you made, I'm allergic to. And then you see me as being inappreciative and not appreciating your program and your hard work. No, you just didn't make it with me in mind because I wasn't there to help you, to tell you what I'm allergic to. So that's what I see for our community. I would love for our community to truly bring those that we are so passionate and care about to the table. And definitely, I would love to see affordable housing. We need affordable housing. We need additional transitional housing. I'm really fortunate to sit at the table of the Homeless Collaborative. And although I'm the voice for early childhood, what I'm hearing is just like, wow. We have families, and all those families have children who are under the age of 5. How are we supporting them? Where is the housing for them? I think sometimes folks think of homelessness or the experience of homelessness as someone on the street. But no, it's when you have 5 and 6 families tripled and quadrupled up in one household that's supposed to sustain one family. But then you have 5 and 6 in that household. So definitely having that affordable housing. I want to also see livable wages. We have families who are working 2 and 3 jobs just to do the basics, just for basic necessities, so just, we have some work to do, but because again, Durham, I always tell folks, Durham is my mini Brooklyn because we are passionate, we are vocal, we are adamant, tenacious. So I know it will come to pass, it will happen. But those are some of the visions that I have for Durham and for the partnership. And then, one day the goal is to be global. I want the partnership to be that best practice pillar in the community where we have, again, people from Rwanda, from Ghana, from Venezuela coming to say, wow, I see how you've implemented and evaluated this program. How can we share and exchange ideas? So, I started some of that work with our teachers for NC Pre-K, where we connected with schools in Ghana. So I'm hoping to build upon that work with now this new arena of schools in Rwanda, because people are hungry and excited to share ideas and best practices. So really looking, beyond our Durham four walls, if you will. So yeah, that's my vision.
So amazing, Danielle. I really like, can I just be you for real when I grow up? Like you, please?
I want Faith to take it beyond. So I'm going to pass the torch to all of my sheroes, because we need more. We need more passion. We need more creativity and just authentic relationships. It can go so far when you're just authentic and just really wanting to see the person. Like I know we did an exercise where I said, I see you. And it doesn't mean that I see you physically, but I see you. I see the person of who you are and the potential of who you can be. And how can I come alongside you so that we can build this together?
Yeah.
One day.
That's a perfect segue into my next question. What woman or women inspire you?
So for me, I will say I am inspired by my mom. Oh gosh, she is just my, oh, okay, I'm not gonna cry. She's my everything. She has poured so much into me that I could not be who I am if it wasn't for her. I grew up, I tell folks all the time, I am a proud product of Harlem, of public housing. And she raised me to know that nothing could stop me. This fearlessness that I have comes from her and my grandmother. I see that in your grandmother. It comes from both of them. They both were just strong women in their own way. My mom is this soft, quiet storm. So that's the part of me that I get when you guys hear me say things like style and substance. So that's my mom, when she's always telling me, Danielle, it's not what you say, it is how you say, style and substance. Then there's the feisty side of me that you guys have seen, and that's that clap, which is my grandmother, because she came up in an era where, Black women were not seen, were not valued, were not appreciated. So those two women poured into me to ensure that I knew that I had value. And no matter where I was to enter, I entered in with my own dignity and grace, which is why I can walk into a space and by God, I'm going to own that space. That's my space. I'm not going to wait for you to invite me. I'm coming in. Now we could work together, we can play together, but I'm here. And that came from them. As a dark-skinned, full-figured woman, I've always been dark-skinned and full-figured. That was another, layer that my mom just ensured and said, you're beautiful. So my validation, again, it came from them, that I knew that when I looked in the mirror, I enjoyed and embraced who Danielle is and who she's becoming. So those are the women. I also definitely, my sister friends who are on this call, they are so inspiring to me. I tell them all the time, can I be like you? Like Pat and Yo-Yo, I tell them all the time, can I be like you when I grow up? So when you guys say that to me, I'm saying it to them. So it's always someone else that, we want, that inspire us. So I'm inspired by the women, the everyday woman. They inspire me. The moms that we serve, oh, they inspire me. Their resiliency and that can-do spirit of, I'm going to get it done. Either you're with me to help me get it done, or I'm going to find another way to get it done. So I'm inspired by what I would call sometimes the underdog, the people that you count out to say, I don't think they're going to make it. And then they just come up and rise like a phoenix. That inspires me. So that's where I get my inspiration from those who are out here every day trying to make ends meet in a chaotic world, in a society that sometimes doesn't often value them, that doesn't appreciate them, that has counted them out. And every day you still get up with a smile and put your clothes on and go out to make a better living for yourself and your family. That's my inspiration. That's why I do what I do.
That's extremely inspiring.
Oh.
All right. And the last question that we have, how is Women's History important or different this year? And do you believe that it has changed from the previous years?
Let's see. It's different this year because I kind of feel like, oh gosh, what is that song? You guys know everything is either a song or a movie with me. Oh, who is it? It's a song that says, sisters are doing it for themselves, standing on their own 2 feet and ringing on. Who sings that song? You guys know the song though, right? Okay, I see the head shaking. So I kind of felt that this year with the Stacey Abrams, with the Kamala Harrises. You know, it was like, listen, we're going to pave these streets. And I look at Shirley Chisholm. They stand on the shoulders of Shirley Chisholm. They stand on the shoulders of Fannie Lou Hamer. You know, the women who were not seen, appreciated, but was singing that same clarion call. So it was definitely different this year because we kind of pushed in those doors and tore down systems of oppression and spoke truth to those systems. So it was definitely different. I hope it doesn't fade away. You know, I'm hoping that more of the younger, those who are behind them, that there's a system in place that will help nurture those leaders and future women leaders, something in place that the next generation can carry the torch. I sometimes feel we are lacking that as a society. We don't groom our young people anymore. That was something I felt my older generation did, like my mom and them. They made sure that there was a younger person under the wings to say, okay, here's how you do it. Here's how it gets done. I know that's what happened for me on leadership. Leadership, I didn't attend a course to figure out how to do this. I had amazing leaders who took me under their wing, who saw potential in me and who challenged me. I had one, her name is Diane Kramer, who I miss dearly. She's transitioned from breast cancer. But she would tell me when I was working in Brooklyn in Head Start, you're lazy. You know this like the back of your hand, and you don't want to go beyond because it's easy for you. And of course, I was offended. You know, I was a young filly then, quite offended. Like, what do you mean I'm lazy? I am not lazy. And she said it. She said, no, you have to stop being content and challenge yourself. And from there, it was on. I was like, okay, I'm gonna show you it. That was the attitude. Like, I'm gonna show you. You'll see. But she was doing the reverse psychology on me. Because, you know, I was also very young and I would say, how can I say, conversational. You know, I would tell you how I felt. The filter wasn't as intact as it is now. And I would say, like, you know, who are you to say this about me? You don't know, blah, blah, blah. But she helped whip me into shape. And when I tell you the product, the other side, I just hope she was able to know that the seeds that she had sown into me would reap a good harvest. And that's what it's done right now. So, but I hope it doesn't change. I hope, again, like I said, the next generation, they will be mentored, which is why I'm very big on in our organization that we mentor the next group that's coming in. And we do it, again, in a respectful relationship kind of way. We don't do it where, you know, we're being condescending, like, oh, you don't know what you're doing. You're fresh out of school. No, you was once there as well. So let's figure this out together and definitely help to bring up that next generation of female leaders.
And I can definitely say from a personal experience that you really do everything that you say about encouraging the next woman and making sure that they get to their next destination. I can truly say that that's something that you've done as someone who's been under your leadership. You've definitely made it easy for me to be able to get to where I want to be because you've helped to lay that foundation. And I'm so grateful.
I'm sorry, can I second that too?
Yeah,
I'm waiting to come to graduations. I need to see some graduation tickets come my way after you and Ms. Court get these second graduate degrees.
I definitely want to second that. I've told you plenty of times before. You have put me in places where I always felt, okay, I don't think I can. I'm a little uncomfortable, but you've always stretched me and pushed me to get to the next level. And like I always say, I truly appreciate you for that. I'm so happy we've crossed paths. I'm so happy that you are my executive director. You have definitely made me grow as a person, and I appreciate that. I
appreciate you guys. Just let me know if you're going to leave me, okay? I always said that. I won't hold you back, but just give me a heads up. Don't just give me 2 weeks because you ladies are amazing. I need some time to find new talent. So don't just leave me like that.
We promise. Well, thank you so much for this robust conversation. We've come to the end of our presentation. So now it's our audience's chance to ask any questions that you have for Ms. Johnson. We ask that you please submit your questions in the chat box, or you can unmute now if you'd like to ask her. And we also will look through the chat and answer the questions as you submit them. And Danielle, before we do that, do you have any closing remarks that you'd like to leave us with?
Thank you again. When you ladies asked me to do this, you know, I was just like, why me? I haven't really contributed much. And you ladies were like, what? Are you serious? No way. We couldn't close this out with you now. So I'm appreciative that you honor and see the leadership in me. I'm grateful for that. So I thank you, because it is a pleasure. I enjoy working with each of you each day, and just how we are able to build and grow and create great opportunities. So thank you for asking me to do this. I really feel honored and special. So thank you.
Yes, you're very welcome. We wouldn't have had it any other way. So it is now anyone who has any questions for Danielle, you can unmute to ask or put it in our chat box on the side. And I think, Court, are you looking at the chat box?
Yes, we do have a question from Ms. Ariel King. She states, thank you for this. I'm currently getting my master's in public health from FAMU and will be finished this summer. Congrats to you for that. Do you have any advice?
So my first question would be, what is your focus area? So like, for example, my focus area when I got my MPH was on maternal and child health. So what is your focus area? Are you looking to do like just a statistical side of it with epidemiology? So what's your focus area, Miss Ariel?
Hi, it's Ariel.
I'm sorry, Ariel. Thank you for the correction.
Okay. Actually, my focus right now is health and policy management.
Okay. Are you looking to, but even with that, do you want to look at school age children, that's 0 to 8? Because that's a huge area with the policy management. So if you're interested, let's say, for example, your area be children birth to age 8. I was a big advocate of trying to find ways to kind of enter into the public health, like your public health settings. And you're in Florida, FAMU?
No, I'm actually online. I'm in Durham.
Oh, okay. So our public health department, that would be a good starting area to see. If you could join maybe some committees or different things like that, just to get your foot in the door. Also, if you're looking into policy, I would look at the Head Start. What is the Office of Head Start? Because there's definitely an arm in there, because we have an area of health that we look at. So yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And all the best. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I have another question for you. What does self-care look like for you?
Self-care for me is very different every month. This month, self-care has been to try to go to bed before 1 o'clock. Like, yeah, I saw the face, Court, but yeah, again, with school and work, we are in a high volume time at work and a high volume time at school. I have a high volume daughter. So for me, self-care is trying to get to bed at like, maybe I'm aiming for 10 o'clock, 10:30 if I'm really good, you know? So that was this month. Now, next month, hint, hint, that's April. That is the birthday month. Oh, self-care is about to be off the charts. Like, we talking weekly massages, the mani-pedis on a regular schedule. Oh yeah, definitely. April is a whole different ballgame with self-care. And then after that, we'll see. Who knows? I can't go any further.
That sounds
but
good.
Self-care, in all honesty, is what you need. I don't like for folks to say things like, oh, for self-care, you need to schedule a 30-minute massage. That may not be feasible for everyone. So you have to find out, what is it that you need? For some people, it might be just 10 minutes of silence. That is their self-care, to just not have to answer a phone, not have to answer a child, a spouse, a barking dog. So that, you have to really figure out and identify what is crucial for your self-care, and then go for it. Carve out that time.
All right. We are curious how you were able to find mentor relationships, especially from other women, either someone mentoring you or you being given the opportunity to mentor the next generation. I
am right now actively seeking a mentor. My friend Yo-Yo knows this also well, Yolanda. We have this conversation. Yeah, I need some help. Because I come from the mindset of, if I'm constantly pouring out, who's pouring into me? So I am in search. So if there's anyone on the call who would like to help guide and mentor me as well, because like I said, I think when you're at this level of leadership, it's sometimes hard to really find a good fit for mentorship, which is why many times people are hiring executive coaches and things like that. Again, just because of who I am, I'm hoping we'll find more people with this kind of characteristic. I want to see the next generation do well. So I'm always availing myself. Or even when I've had students would say to me, okay, once I finish your course, can you be my mentor? And I'll say things like, okay, well, what is it that you're looking for? Because if you want someone to check in on you every week, I'm not the one for you. But now if you want someone to help hold you accountable, that if you share with me, okay, Ms. Johnson, here's what I'm thinking, and my goals are to do this within the next 3 weeks, then I can help you with that because I can then check in on you. So I think it's finding that balance again of what is it that you need, and then finding a mentor who has the time to really invest into your vision, your purpose. Like right now, I'm mentoring a young woman who's in Rwanda, but we have an understanding because she's in school, I'm in school. We aim to meet at least once a month for an hour. It's also a challenge because of her time difference. She's 6 hours ahead of me. So usually we try to meet up on the weekends where we dedicate that time where she's unpackaging what's going on. And in essence, it also helps me again, because I'm able to continue those relationships, to understand what's needed in the arena of early childhood. So that's where that scholar, see, that scholar hat never comes off. So as she's telling me like, well, here's what I'm working on. And my question is like, well, do you have resources to meet that need? Like, how is it working out? And she's like, no, we don't have resources in that. I'm thinking like, oh, I can create the resource now. So again, it's an exchange of creativity for me because that's an outlet where I'm able to be creative.